Good morning. It is brisk out this morning for sure, but it's really nice to see the sun shining, at least. Just walking up to show an apartment for rent, and then another open house this afternoon. It is nice to see the sun, but I don't mind the dark winters and short days here, but the one thing that gets me is the sun really doesn't come up high in the air at all. So when you're in the city, it rarely shines down the streets at all. So it's nice to get in these open areas where you see a little bit more. Thanks for a lot of the feedback on my last couple videos. I really appreciate it. It's nice to be back out here and back in touch a little bit. But one thing I'll reassure you, I'm not depressed. I'm fine. Really, I'm fine. I've done my bout with depression many years ago, and this wasn't it. This was just a bump in the road of life, and that happens. It's not fun, but we keep moving forward. But yeah, this wasn't depression. I'm fine. I'm doing good. Just get things back on track and moving on with life, because that's what we do. Looking forward to summer. I do like the winters here. The winters here are really nice. Where I was before, it was miserable winters most of the time, when right beside the ocean, so the cold weather would come across the country and warm weather would come up with the ocean. And so it was just wet and slushy most of the time. It was just miserable. But here, nice, cold and brisk, crunchy snow. I like that. But yeah, let's go show this apartment. But yeah, I'm good. Things are good. But thanks for asking. I really appreciate it. Now, I have to say, one of the things that I really enjoy about my job here, working in real estate, is I get to see inside of a lot of these old buildings. They're absolutely beautiful. And the new ones too, they're really nice. And the old elevators, I just love those. But yeah, so just getting ready to show this apartment. See if we get a new tenant in there. And then back to an open house this afternoon. Busy Sunday. Then I'm gonna take a little time off this evening and rest up for a busy week ahead. New Year coming up. Christmas is almost here, and got some big goals set for the next year. So not a lot of free time to take off if you don't want to start from scratch in the new year. When you got big goals, you can't spend too much time waiting and preparing. Sometimes you just got to get after it. And you know what? Big goals can be, they have to be realistic, but they have to be a little scary. Because it has to be something that's really going to motivate you. And anything worthwhile in life, worth really going after, it's going to be a little scary. Yeah. That's life. Okay, I got a couple minutes. I'll be back after this. So yeah, it's good to have goals in life. Important things with goals: very specific, obtainable and realistic. Obtainable and realistic, those are both one. Written down and visualized, so you remember your goals and keep working towards them every day. Very important. And goals should scare you a little bit. They're you know, if something's easy, it's not as rewarding. It's good to strive towards something and work towards it. Keeps you motivated. Motivation and fear, two things that keep you going. But yeah, nose, it's better. It's a little straighter than it was, but still a little off. But I don't know if they could do anything more with it. It's still sore, but managed to get off the painkillers, which makes it a little more sore, but at least I don't have to eat the painkillers. And if I accidentally touch it or rub it, I can still feel it clicking inside there. So I don't know if that's going to get any better, but time will tell. Yeah, nice day. But showing went well. Back to the office, and another showing this afternoon. Let's get after it. Got time for a coffee before I had to leave for my next appointment. So warm up a little bit. But yeah, goals are fun, especially in this business where you need to be self-motivated. You need to do your own work, and you need that's something to strive for, and I think that's important with everything. But to keep you moving forward. And I said before in one of my last videos, it's like, I don't know what I really want, and that's not entirely true. It's I know exactly what I want, but some things are out of my control. So there's nothing I can do about that. The things that I do want that are in my control, I could get those. But the tricky part is, the hard part is what I'm willing to trade in my life to get that. It's like, what's the goal worth and what are you willing to pay for it? Because there's always a cost. You know, it's like, if you imagine today, if you could, whatever goal you have for 6 months from now, if you could have that today, you know, you think, what would you do to have that today? It's like, man, I would do anything. I would do anything to have all of that today and feel like that, how my life would feel if I had that. But you haven't done the work yet, so you can't have it. you need to do the work. So that's where I'm at now, coming into the new year and setting some of these new goals. And see, my goals are always big. I always set big goals, and I'm unrealistic with the time frame, with how much I think I could accomplish in a certain amount of time. So I've learned myself that if I set a goal and I think, okay, in the next 3 months, I'm going to do this, this, and this. I've learned that after I set that for the 3 months, now take that 3 months and make it 9 months. Because there's no way, even though I think on paper and in my head I could do all this in 3 months, it's not going to happen. I'm just gonna end up in a position where I don't accomplish it and it's done. So that's what I've learned to do for my goals, because I'm really good at setting goals, and I'm very excited about the goals. But then to actually go and get them, I need more time than I actually think I need. So that's a tricky part as well, that I've learned to adjust for myself. So that's where I'm at now. It's going to be a good year, but yeah, this last year, it hasn't everything hasn't gone according to plan over this last year, and that was very difficult. But that happens. You know, we keep moving forward, and we get on with life, like I said, and so yeah. some things are in your control and other things aren't. I was chatting with a friend the other day about these last 2 years since moving here, and everything that I've gone through, everything that I've done, everything that I haven't done, and I said that I feel like I'm 5 years behind where I should have been when I moved here 2 years ago, and that's not very far from the truth. I had this goal set in my head what I was going to do when I moved here, and it wasn't on the time scale that it should have been. It was unrealistic how much I could accomplish in the first 2 years that I was going to be here. But you know, sometimes when you shoot for the stars, you're only going to hit the moon. But that's still a pretty good shot. So I can't put too much pressure on myself for what I haven't done. I gotta still realize what I have done, and that's been a lot. And yeah, we're still moving forward and still getting after it, and it's gonna be good. So I was just throwing these video clips in through the editor, and I know it's a lot of rambling, but that's yeah. Like I said before, I'm not in a position to make these nice, funny, interesting, maybe a little interesting videos and do the editing and everything else. So this is just my way of doing something as opposed to nothing. So that's kind of what this is, just kind of a thinking out loud type video. But if you stuck through all that, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. But a couple of things I wanted to mention on the goals. And goals are very important in life, like I said, to keep you motivated, and they should be a little scary. It should be something that's going to push you out of your comfort zone. One of the things that, as far as goals motivating you, they will, but you have to remember your goals. And one of the things to make your goals more effective, it's to visualize it and write it down. But one of the keys to really ingrain it is to write your goals out every single day. Pen and paper, write it out. And instead of just having a post-it on your wall that sticks there, then you don't see it anymore after a couple days, because it's just there all the time. So write your goals out every single day. That would help out a lot. The other thing, as far as getting motivation from your goals, and this is a big one for me, is that action always precedes motivation for me. It's like I'm very rarely motivated to do something before I actually start doing it. And maybe it's a task switching thing. It's like to move from one thing to the other. But that's another thing. But taking action towards your goals then you get the motivation to work towards that goal after you start taking action. But actually getting started, that's the key part in that. So just something to remember. Like I said, these are just my own thoughts. I'm not trying to change the world or be a life coach like somebody said. So I'm not. This is just for me. So yeah, I have my goals set for next year and what I want to accomplish over the next several months going into the year, and it's going to be a lot of work. And there are a lot of things in my life that I'm willing to trade for that. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of work, but there's a time to enjoy life, and there's a time to improve your life. So I'm going to spend the next little while just focusing more on the improvement side of things rather than enjoying. I'm sure I'll still enjoy it, but it's there's a distinction there. So it's I was thinking of telling you my goals, but that's another thing. It's like when you tell people your goals, you get the same motivation out of that the same feeling as if you've almost accomplished your goals. And that makes it less likely that you will actually go after your goals because you already feel good about it. So that's another trick. Don't tell people about your goals. Keep them to yourself and just keep working towards it. Because the more you talk about it, the better you're going to feel about those goals, and you're going to be less motivated to actually go and do the work. Just another key point if you're interested. I hope you're having a great day. I miss talking to you.